Hi everyone, welcome back. My name is Jeff, if you haven't been here before. Today is just about being creative. It's about being in the moment, not having any big plans, not designing anything but letting the universe tell you what to do. So if you want to see how I do that, hang around. If you're like me and you have just a little bit of trouble letting go and letting things flow, so to speak, and you like to control things, you may find this a little difficult. I certainly do. It's hard to just be in the moment, let it go, not actually plan anything out too much. And in this video, that's exactly what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to just allow myself to make judgments on the fly. I know, let it flow is what a lot of people will call it, and not try to plan out exactly where every piece is going to go. Today I've got a lot of scrap, so the colours don't really matter. We're not going to have a materials and equipment section as such, and we're just going to put it all together into a sculpture. There's going to be one firing only, that'll be the full fuse firing, and whatever comes out is what comes out. So if you're wondering whether you can do this, you can, of course you can. It's just getting yourself into a frame of mind where you're not going to agonise over every little piece of glass, where it goes. Yes, you'll do some of that, but if you start doing it too much, you'll never get it done. And this is more about you than it is the materials. The materials are really just there for you to express what you feel at the moment. Not what you're going to feel tomorrow when you look at it, but what you feel at the moment you're creating it. I will ask if you've got any questions, obviously put them in the comments section below. And if you like the video, hit that like button, I'd appreciate that. So we'll get on with the video now. I'll be doing a little bit of talking, not too much. I'll try to keep that to a minimum. And the rest of the time, I'll just be in the moment. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a shelf, get some thin fire paper on it, clean up some of this clear glass and do an initial layup. And then I'll be showing you as I fumble through decorating it. And I say fumble because I have no idea what I'm doing here. That's not true, is it? Don't forget, this is all Bullseye 90 COE. When I fuse it on the shelf, I'll be fusing it on thin fire paper, as I said. And there'll be no slumping today. So it's all just going to be a sculpture that I will have to make a stand for, which I don't even know what that's going to look like yet. Don't forget your safety. Wear your glasses when you're cutting thin fire. You must wear a mask, especially when it's fired. You can see I keep all my scrap in takeaway food containers. Apart from, of course, large plastic containers. So I've cleaned up some 6mm scrap glass. And there's only 3 pieces here. Actually, that's 4mm. These 2 are 6mm. And they're going to be the basis of this piece. So I've cleaned them up. I'll just sit them together like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to selectively choose some other clear glass and put them on top. And I will be cleaning them as I go along and maybe cutting and grinding as I go along. But generally I'll be trying to just use pieces out of my scrap bin. And I'll build that up to where I think I want to be. I don't want too much clear. Then I'll selectively choose some coloured scrap and lay that all up. Things like this blue here. Now I'll do this in stages. I'll probably be stopping and starting the video because I'll want to little pieces of glass and clean them. Forgive me if it's a little bit jittery, the video, because you know, things will move. I'll change my mind, but hopefully at the end we'll have something that will fuse up and look quite nice. Now this is, as I said, this is going to be a sculpture. the base here, right at the bottom here, which I don't think is in camera, is the bottom of it, and I'll be making a stand for that to slot into. So I'll get going now and start laying some of this glass up. Well, that was an interesting exercise. I'm never quite sure when I do these things. Sometimes I just get a feeling that it's not quite right and not quite sure how to do it. And I've got a little bit of that feeling right now that it's not quite right, but I'm not quite sure what's wrong. Anyway, I think that'll do it for today. I'll get this into the kiln. We'll do a fuse, not a full fuse, but a bit like a contour fuse. So wish me luck as I move this over to the kiln, as I haven't glued anything. So the question is, do I like this today as opposed to yesterday when I made it? Well, sort of. But us artists can be a little bit like that. We tend to look at our own work and be super critical of it rather than looking at it more for what it is. And I strongly encourage you that when you look at the pieces you make the next day, stand back a little bit from them. I don't mean physically, I mean mentally stand back a little bit from them and try to see them in light of what you feel rather than what you wanted technically, especially pieces like this. They have a lot of feeling to me anyway, and I'm only talking from my point of view. To me, every time I look at something like this that I do, I can technically look at it and be very critical of it from a technical point of view and think, oh, I could have done this and I could have done that. But I try very hard to not be technical about these. I try very hard to just look at it and sort of accept it for what it is. Because ultimately, when other people will look at this, it'll mean something completely different to them. What it means to me is one thing. What it means to you or other people will be something very different. And they will get something out of it. They'll love it, they'll hate it, whatever. But the important thing is that it will instill some sort of emotion in them. And I know I'm probably going on a bit here, but when it comes to glass art, as opposed to when we construct something almost to a very precise plan, you can't be so critical of it. You really have to just accept it for what it is. The problem I have with this piece right now is I've got to figure out how I'm going to create a stand for that. I know where it's going to go in the house, or in the gallery, I should say. I'm not too sure how I'm going to make a stand for that. What I did have in mind, I don't think it's going to work. When I do come up with that, I will try and make a video of it and I'll show it to you just how I went about it. Anyway, that's it for today. Don't forget, a couple of suggested videos up there. Subscribe button down there. Don't forget your notifications. And until the next video, I'll say bye for now.